Well, hello, my friends. This is Kevin, the homemaker husband. Once again, I'd like to say thank you. Thank you for choosing to spend a few of your precious moments with me. I'm going to say right off the bat, not for any other reason as maybe just a warning. I am sick. I don't feel very good at all. And Michelle said just before I started recording this, she said, try not to snuff if you can help it, or sniffle, whatever, So if I do that, I apologize. If I have to blow my nose, I will, right? I really have a couple of topics that I'd like to talk with you about, but I'm going to wait to the end to do that. I've got a small grocery haul, and it is small this week, that I'm going to show you here right now. This one is from Walmart. And if I'm feeling up to it this afternoon, I'm going to go to No Frills and pick up a few more things. Those will be separately videoed, and then Michelle will edit them together, which she's so very good at. And then, if I'm able to do that afterwards, I'm going to give everybody fair warning, and I'm going to talk about a couple of things that I want to talk about. So, if you're watching this, that means I've probably done that. So stay with me to the end, if you would, please. Also, right now, I will say this. Been 2 weeks since we put a video up. And 2 weeks ago, California was still in the midst of those really bad fires. I know they're still burning, but they've kind of burned out of town, is my understanding. So, yeah. And during those fires, I never mentioned that I was thinking and praying for you. I know we have some viewers in California. I'm thinking of one in particular, and you usually reply, comment to our videos, and when that person does, I will answer you directly, right? But know that you aren't forgotten. We're not living in a little bubble here and not paying attention to the sufferings of other people, so just keep that in mind. So with that said, I'll show you the few things we got, and then we'll go from there. So stay tuned. Okay, starting from the right here and going left, I'm going to show you these. We have a little project ongoing, and we only need like 6 or 8 rubber bands, but you can't buy them in that small a quantity, not around here anyway that I know of. So we ordered that. They probably weren't that much money anyway. Michelle will put up the price, but we got them for that project. We got another package of 8 Wonder hamburger buns, 4 bologna sandwiches, hamburgers, chicken burgers, whatever. We got these Pillsbury flaky rolls to go with a dish that we're going to make for the week. I needed a razor. These things are just so ridiculously expensive. I'm thinking maybe I'll just buy an electric razor, buy it once and use it for a few years. Hopefully I won't get as nice a shave, but might have to do it anyway. Got a package of these McCain hash browns, right? We're going to make our own breakfast hash, and I believe that's what this sausage is for. This is the first time we've been able to buy a tube of sausage, so we jumped on it. They have it at the No Frills, we noticed. And then mysteriously it showed up at Walmart. So that was kind of interesting. But we did get it from Walmart today. We have 2 dozen eggs here, because you know how we like our eggs. A can of this Elmer beef broth. A can of these tomatoes. We had a can last week in a soup that we made, and very, very good. So we're definitely going to keep them in stock, keep using them. Also for, I believe, a dish that Michelle has in mind, we're going to need some tomato paste, and we're about out, so she picked up a can of that. And she got me one of these for my bottled water that I take to work with me. And also 1 green pepper. I believe a lot of it will be going in our breakfast hash. And a bunch of celery. It's beautiful stuff. It's more than her and I will be able to eat up, so some of it will go to waste, but I guess a bunch of celery doesn't grow with 2 people in mind, maybe. Got a bag of yellow potatoes here. we've only got a few very tiny little ones left, and they've all sprouted, so probably just toss them and start the new bag. Got 20 things of cat food here for the little girl. Her favorite is the beef, and I would say her second favorite is these, and then third is this. But it's so hard, like, to buy 20 of them all together, all that flavor. So our phone's ringing there, which hardly ever happens, but one, I still have some, so we're just getting what we need. 1 case of water there, and another box of litter for the cat. I like to keep that ahead a little bit. So that's this part of the grocery haul, and there will be more, providing I feel up to going out, so stay tuned. Okay, my friends, so I just got back from No Frills, and I'll show you what I got here from right to left. I got this for me, and it's probably not a good idea for me to eat anything with dairy in it until after I get my lungs cleared out and stuff, or after I get past this cold. But this is 4 grams of sugar for 3/4 of a cup, so I thought I would get that. I got this small jar of mayonnaise because this is something that Michelle can handle. The big squeeze bottle she's having a lot of trouble with, so I got her this specifically so she could handle it easier when she's left to her own devices, right? I bought a box of these Ziploc sandwich bags for that same reason, basically. That seal right there will be a lot easier for her to manipulate than the Great Value ones are. We bought a small bottle of this last time we went to No Frills, and we like it a lot. It does seem to be an awfully lot like the Sunlight that we used for years and years and years, and so I got this big 5-liter bottle. We will just fill up the other bottle as needed, obviously. Got a bag of these soft baked President's Choice decadent chocolate chip cookies for Michelle as well. They're easy for her. I got 1 package of this Southern Fried coating mix, shake and bake, but not, you know what I mean? And I got 1 for pork as well. Sorry for sniffling. And I picked up 2 of these Amy's burritos for Michelle. She really likes them. And if she's in a pinch, a couple minutes in the microwave and she can have a burrito, which is a whole meal for her. And I picked up this package of pork chops. Now they do have a bone in them, but they will be pretty easy to get rid of that bone. And we're going to make a couple of them for supper tonight. The rest we will freeze. So yeah, that is the No Frills. Very small haul this week. Just pretty much buying what we were in need of. Everyone, once again, that was a pretty small little grocery haul. Things are such that Michelle and I are basically, we're not even building up the store right now, not too much. We do on occasion set a few things aside for the store, but for the most part we're actually drawing from our store because food has gotten so expensive. Now, those of you that have been with us for a while know that we are Christians and we put our faith in the Lord to provide for us. So I'm not going to worry about starving or anything like that. I mean, I could stand to go quite a while missing a few meals anyway. But I want to say thank you very much for watching. Michelle and I are both, once again, she's now getting in good shape what I've had all week pretty much. And for her, it's a lot bigger deal than it is even for me. She's so compromised from the beginning, but we're not going to talk about that. But for those of you that are praying people, I would certainly appreciate your prayers for us. I know many of you tell us that you pray on a regular basis for us, and we appreciate that so much. We definitely need prayer. Also, know that I pray for each and every one of you as a group, and when you send us a specific prayer request, you are prayed for. So I think prayer is the greatest thing that you can do for another person, or for a group of people, or for a country. Many people praying is a good thing. So, I want to say that this is the chance for those of you that do not want to hear me rant, that don't want to hear me talk anything political or of the nature of my faith. Now's the time for you to press stop. You can just be done, and I'll be grateful that you watched this far. So, you've been warned. First off, I want to say that those of you that do know me know that this book right here is the foundation that Michelle and I are trying to build our lives on. I say trying because it is a process that's ongoing, and we fail lots of times, but we know that the Lord is willing to forgive if we repent of our sins, right? He is faithful and just to forgive us. 1 John 1:9. So, when we read and study the Bible, we learn that we will gain a heart of wisdom if we're faithful and diligent. I'm not going to get too preachy. Those of you that understand will understand. Those of you that don't, dive in. It's certainly well worth it. That being said, we know that as Christians, we are not to put our faith in human beings. We are not to trust in human beings to save us. No human being can save us. But we also know that we are tasked with the responsibility, like when we live in a country like what we live in, the United States, any country where you are allowed to vote, you should vote. Now, that being said, we must remember that we're not voting for a pastor. We're not even voting for a Christian leader. We're voting for a secular leader for our countries. Now, there's so much I want to say, or that I could say on this topic. I'll start here. Many people were very excited when Justin Trudeau announced that he was resigning as Prime Minister. We even received congratulations, which are welcomed, but those of us that pay attention are well aware of the fact that Justin Trudeau is still in power. And Justin Trudeau is still out there trying to destroy the country. Now, I'm not going to beat around the bush. That's what he's hoping to do. There's so much kerfuffle about this 25% tariff that Donald Trump is talking about putting on, and now he's saying it's going to be March the 1st. And I mean, he's given us plenty of chances, but Canadians are all in an uproar about this. And it seems the vast majority are missing the simple point. And I think even a lot of Americans are missing the simple point. But Justin Trudeau knows he's on his way out. Mark Carney is looking like he is the most likely to win the nomination to be the next Liberal Party leader. So that will make him the de facto unelected Prime Minister until an election happens. Mark Carney is Justin Trudeau on steroids. These people do not like Canada the way it's run. Now, some of you will say that I'm a conspiracy theorist, but I'm not, right? Just like all the conspiracy theories that we were talking about in the past, they all came true. They're not conspiracy theorists. They're things people that are paying attention can see happening. Anyway, I'm not trying to blow my own horn. It's just these things should be obvious. Mark Carney will be a disaster. And if the Liberals could somehow win the next election, he will destroy the country. He will have 5 years, right? Because here in Canada, you can go 5 years, stretch an election out 5 years, and that's what Justin has done. If we don't have an election until October, it's 5 years. and they can do a lot of damage in 5 years. We see what Mr. Biden did in the US. Now there's people that are going to get all up in arms about that. Just don't bother. You're deceiving yourself if you don't think you did a lot of damage to your country. We're not arguing about that. We're just not. Save your comments. So even as Justin Trudeau is preparing to leave, to not be the prime minister, not be the party leader, like he's resigning so that maybe Mark Carney or somebody else can form a majority government the next time the Liberals can stay in power, which will be a disaster. They need to be blown out of the water. But even as people in Canada are all fired up about the 25% tariffs, and they're completely wrong on what needs to be done there, Justin Trudeau is trying to stack the Canadian Senate. So here in Canada, we have an appointed Senate, not an elected Senate. We, the people, have nothing to do with the Senate. The sitting prime minister selects senators. And apparently there's 10 openings right now. And Justin Trudeau wants to install 10 of his buddies. So what that will mean is, even if we can form a conservative government and they pass bills in that body, the House of Commons, which is supposed to be commoners, which they're not, even if we can get bills passed that are favorable to the country and to the citizens, it has to go to the Senate and they will say yay or nay. Excuse me. So if they have a bunch of liberal senators in there, the laws that our House of Commons pass won't get past them. They won't become the laws of the land. So you still have a de facto liberal government, right? Very dirty trick. Usually when Parliament is prorogued, they don't appoint senators, right? It just sits. Everything stops. But that's not what's happening with Justin Trudeau, because he is as evil. He's not just a bad politician. He's outright evil, right? Evil. And he wants to destroy this country. He literally does. And I believe that's happening in all of the more civilized worlds. We see it in Germany and France and England. England is pretty much gone now. And they're doing it through immigration and destruction of the family. Just destruction of the family, destruction of the marriage, And yes, you can call me old-fashioned and a prude. I didn't make the rules. Talk to God, right? So anyway, there's that. People need to be aware that Justin Trudeau is still out to destroy this country. And he's so intent on that even though everybody despises him, he's trying to set it up so that when he's long gone, the destruction continues, right? He's not even worried about his legacy, so to speak. So there's a deal in place for him somewhere else. Mark Carney is a big wheel in the World Economic Forum. And liberals lie. They just lie. They're all starting to mimic Pierre Poilievre's election promises that he's making. And I have a couple little issues with Pierre too, but certainly he would be better than the liberals, at least to start. Second thing, Justin, also there's more regulation for the bullock chuckers. Now, does everybody understand what I mean by the bullock chuckers, the pew-pews? And those of you that have watched know that I like to hunt, and they know that I like to go to the range. So, though that issue is near and dear to me. I'm not a criminal, never have been, don't plan on being. Anything that I have is used just simply for my sport. The liberals try to say that they are trying to come up with laws governing the pew-pews because of safety. It's not about safety. And I'm very discouraged and disheartened that nobody will say what I'm about to say. And this is where people will accuse me of being out to lunch. They don't want to limit pew-pews because of crime, right? All the laws that they have passed have had no difference on crime committed with them. That crime is going up, right? What they want to do is to disarm the population. And I'll say it this way, and it's crude, and I hope people don't take offense. They want to disarm the nation because it's easier to make us get on the train if we can't defend ourselves. That's the ultimate goal, the absolute ultimate goal. It's bigger than Canada, it's worldwide, right? So, I've said it there right out loud. The next thing, let's talk about tariffs here for a minute. Canadians are all up in arms. Canadians get their information from a legacy media. I hear my friends say it. I see it on Facebook. It's very disheartening. Michelle gets upset. It drives me nuts. I get upset. And you're really powerless to say anything. People, the vast majority, they get their little tiny snippets of information from music radio, disc jockeys. They all think they're funny, and they all think they're so smart, and they say derogatory things about DJT, and I don't care what your opinion of him is. He loves America. He wants America to be put first. He has threatened Canada and Mexico with the 25% tariffs simply because our borders are so porous. There's people, dangerous people in many cases, passing from Canada into the U.S. Drugs are running through. Yes, we say, oh, well, the handguns are coming across. Yes, but a lot of those handguns are being passed back and forth by people that shouldn't be in our countries to begin with, right? So so rather than say we're going to retaliate against the United States with our own tariffs, which is a bad idea, what they should just say is, okay, we need to control our borders, which is something that our government is supposed to do anyway. Control our borders, right? Lock them down. We have people coming into Canada from other countries simply to get to the United States, and they are getting there, right? These politicians, Donald Trump is not making up numbers. They have actual numbers of people that have been caught, and then they have, I don't know how they figure out the gotaways, but they do that too. They have pretty good ideas of those numbers. So that's what he's saying. Fix your border and we won't put any tariffs on. Yes, there's trade issues that come into play as well, but the border issue is the big thing. So Canadians need to be saying to our politicians, fix the borders, dummy, and stop thinking that you're going to retaliate against the United States of America, because it isn't going to work. As far as people saying, and people have said to us, can you identify the made in Canada products and the made in US products so we know, or whatever. Michelle and I are not going to do that. We're just going to buy what we want to buy, and where it comes from, right? So, and the reason for that is simply cost. It costs a huge amount of money to go to the grocery store now. That little bit of stuff I showed you from No Frills was $70. Michelle will put the prices up, or we will. She will put them up, but I'm going to help her do it. But groceries are simply just too expensive to just simply say, I'm going to buy Canadian, right, for us. There's just so much, and I hate the term misinformation, and I hate the term disinformation. It's lies. There's so many lies being propagated out there that it just make you sick. Anyway, any questions? I know people, if they've watched this, will want to rage on me and sass and everything. There's going to be the crowd that says Donald Trump's a felon and all that stuff. The people that changed laws and bent laws and rearranged laws so that they could bring these charges against Donald Trump really are the felons, because there was no felony cases to be brought against Donald Trump, or they would have been years ago. Anyway, that's probably the statement that will get me the most hate. Once again, if you've watched this far, God bless you. Thank you very much. Kevin, the homemaker husband, saying God bless Bye for now.